Welcome back to WGN-TV Political Report. We are still joined by Connie Mixon and Will Adler. Thank you to you both. I want to pivot off the conventions, but we're going to go back, though. They say that there really are four big tests for a presidential candidate. There's that convention speech, and there are the three debates. Who are the stakes higher for in those debates? Connie.
You know, I think the stakes they're high for Joe Biden, certainly. He's got to figure out a way during these debates to respond to President Trump. We saw during 2016, really, things that you wouldn't expect in a debate, how he walked around and circled Hillary Clinton, just not engaging and responding to questions. So I think that Joe Biden is going to have to spend a lot of time in debate prep, and hopefully Hillary Clinton is helping with that preparation.
Will, what do you think? There'll be some fact checkers working that night.
Well, the fact checkers always do their thing, but actually I'm gonna go on the opposite side. I actually think the stakes are higher for Donald Trump going into those debates because the polls have consistently showed Biden up somewhere between 8 to 12 points in the polls, and ahead in swing states. Ohio even is competitive. Iowa is competitive, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, and Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, the big three from last time, seem to be trending towards Biden. So Trump has got to do something to change the narrative of this election in those debates if he really wants to come from behind here and win again.
Connie, I sort of thought Joe Biden would allow Kamala Harris to be sort of the attack dog in this race, and she may very well be, but although Biden was pretty strong in his speech. My question to you is, the issue of racism and the George Floyd situation, Kamala Harris had a really interesting way of kind of tying it to COVID in many ways in those issues, and we're going to play that sound for you of Kamala Harris from her acceptance speech.
Black, Latino, and indigenous people are suffering and dying disproportionately. And this is not a coincidence. It is the effect of structural racism. And let's be clear, there is no vaccine for racism. We've got to do the work.
Connie, will that, remember 2016, a lot of African Americans stayed home. They felt they were just being taken advantage of. Does that make a difference in this race?
I think it does. And Senator Harris gave a really outstanding speech, and she was able to tell her story and to talk about larger issues in large part because President Obama, just before her, had already done most of the attacking. And her opening remarks, in which she recognized the work of Black women activists who fought for the right to vote and a seat at the table, this was really poignant. And it opened the door for her to be able to talk about today's challenges when it comes to inequality, injustice, and systemic racism.
Let's quickly, we've got about a minute left. Can we just get your overall grade on the convention? Will?
I'll give it an A-. I think they did about as well as they could under the circumstances, given the logistical constraints of doing this all virtually. There were a few moments that didn't quite resonate as well as others.
Some of the jokes, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I saw some people complaining about Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Right.
Humor didn't land, but other than that, pretty good.
Connie?
I'm going to give them an A. I think that both parties are going to be hard-pressed to go back to the traditional format after what we saw this last week. We'll see what happens next week.
2 A's from a professor. I've never heard this in my life, Paul.
Wow. I got to take your guys' classes. This could be some easy A's in here.
Thank you both. Thanks for your time.
Appreciate you. Coming up next, more on what to expect from the Republican rebuttal next week. We're talking to RNC delegate and Illinois GOP co-chair Mark Shaw when we come back.